It's been a month since I started riding the Nanrobot LS7 Plus. How did it all go? And was it able to climb up the steep slope to the top of off-road electric scooters? Let's inspect! Right, welcome everybody, Michael here, or Michael, because this is how you correctly pronounce it in my native language. As promised a few weeks ago, I'm back today with the review of the new Nanrobot LS7 Plus. What I didn't know and couldn't experience before a month, to be shared with you in the next minutes. I obviously didn't know about the price. It's now launched at $3,200. You can buy around 10 Xiaomi Essential scooters at a Lightning deal or 5 Mi Scooters Pro 2, but none of them are going to be that powerful and fun. Generally, this scooter is great about riding in almost any kind of conditions, although we can't call it a dirt bike alternative because, as Nanrobot recommend themselves in the user manual, you better should avoid rain, snow and mud. So, in this video, I'd like to address my feedback and experience about a few major groups: design, build quality, motor performance, the tires, the suspension and of course the battery life. So, the design is very off-road looking. This scooter definitely does not belong to the bike lanes. The weight of around 50 kilos can be very dangerous, and during this month, I strengthened my opinion that you better ride it on streets together with regular traffic if you have the license to. That's very important. If the road is completely flat, you're going to feel minor impact by the tires and their texture. The suspension is very decent too. It's not the smoothest one I got, and in some situations I managed to read the maximum load it can handle, especially when filming these jumps. For off-road conditions, it is doing the job right and allows you to maintain much higher speed than any other scooter without suspension or with entry-level suspension. Braking system is also great, easy to maintain, pads are quiet, you can adjust the brakes additionally, and seem to be easy to service. Since these are hydraulic brakes, you may easily get them serviced and repaired in most bike shops. The height of the scooter is just about right. I almost never really folded it, because given the weight, lifting up to put inside the car trunk is not an easy task at all, but if transportation is needed, yes, this is much easier than a motorbike. Probably the only component that doesn't feel right is the front light. It is bright, but I wish the light was spread at a wider area. I'm probably going to upgrade it at some point. The tools and the buttons on the handlebar are easy to access too. Maybe the grips should have been glued, because mine can actually move. The build quality of the components is a second thing. Tires, which are super reliable. I've been riding through some horrible roads. No issues so far, no punctures, luckily. If you need to replace them, it won't be an easy task. The stem is super solid. The board is well designed and also very wide. I wish the board was using metal instead of aluminium, and I wish there was a hook so that when folded, there would be something that holds the scooter together. I've had no crashes so far, but if you have such, you can expect the usual suspects to get damaged: brakes, possibly suspension. I doubt the wheels can get hurt. The stem won't let you down either. Since just a month is a rather short period of time to rate the build quality of something, I think we can agree that we can set the expectation of this component to pending, and feel free to ask follow-up questions in the comment section below this video. I want to talk about the motor hub performance next. There have been a few times where I share the opinion that having motors in both wheels is much better than just a rear or a front one. Often, a scooter with two motors of 400 watt each will give you better performance than a scooter with 1000 watt motor in just one of the wheels. This gives you a lot of advantages, possibly reduced power consumption, different riding configurations, and adapting it according to your own style. For the LS7 Plus in particular, not much to say in that regard, it just confirms the rule. The scooter has motor peak power of 4.8 kilowatts, which is close to 6.5 horsepower. This is insane. By default, Nanrobot ship it to you with slow acceleration mode on, something you may change. However, I wouldn't recommend unless you know what you're doing. If this mode is on, you won't be drifting at the start, and if you ask me, this is the much safer and comfortable solution. The motors are so powerful that if you're at dual-motor turbo mode on third gear, one wrong press of this acceleration lever and you may be on the ground with the scooter a few meters in front of you. Here's an idea for Nanrobot and other makers. I would really think of implementing a ratio, especially when you go up hills. When the weight falls on the rear wheel, it has better grip, and the front motor is helping, but it's just complementary. So I would love to be able to be focusing 70% of power in the rear and 30% in the front. You may well notice how the front of the scooter was not so stable when going up hills. No problem for climbing super steep slopes, but you're gonna need some training to get used to distributing the weight and avoiding slipping. I haven't tried the maximum speed, I'm simply not that brave or crazy. Been going up to 60 km per hour, and there has been a lot more power left in the scooter, so if you want to risk your own life, it's up to you. I would add a speed limiter, just in case, and for that you can use the P settings. This, by the way, was something I've extensively tested. You can make a lot of adjustments so that you make the scooter performance suiting your own style or the terrain needs. As the next thing, the battery life. This is a value that has a lot of ifs. The battery is first of all huge, so the air temperature outside is having a serious impact on the performance. At low temperatures, in wintertime, most of the values I would share right now, you can divide by 2. So, first gear, Eco mode single motor. I feel like with gradual acceleration and using the cruise control, you can easily go past 50 kilometers, maybe even 70, but you have to be very consistent. The faster you accelerate, the more you push, the more slopes you attack. If you switch to turbo and dual motor mode, range could get down to 20 kilometers only, especially if you drift a lot and accelerate rapidly. The combined balance, realistically, for street commuting around 35 to 50. If you go off-road, I'd say somewhere between 20 and 40 kilometers. Note that if you ride off-road for a long time, your hands are going to be really tired. So if you're new to the scooter world or not having the physical preparation to do it, start with shorter distances. I also need to warn you once again, having that much of motor power is often going to tempt you to do things you otherwise wouldn't. So please, have some protective equipment. No accidents while filming this video happened to me, but I like going down hills with a bike and knew these areas pretty well. But even if I know what I'm doing, you're going to notice that I wasn't pushing the scooter to the limits. Remember, just a second of distraction may cost you around a year of rehab, if you're lucky. So, in the end, my verdict: amazingly fun, extraordinarily powerful and quite reliable. I've never been tempted by ATVs so far, but I guess now I understand the buzz, and having it on 2 wheels is definitely awesome. The fact that you do have a dual motor hub gives you the ability to do things that you may not be able to do even with a motorbike. Just don't forget, safety first. So, thanks a lot for watching this episode with me, and as usual, if you have any questions, I'll make sure to join you in the comment section below the video. Nanrobot promised to get me a discount for you, so check the video description for more details in case you've decided to go for this particular scooter. Stay safe, enjoy riding, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!